for the delay, but we had to put something right, and here we are finally with our lunchtime news. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa. Ministry of Health is advising Ugandans to go to Nambole for treatment against COVID-19 at no cost. Admissions at the center have now reduced and the recovery rate is reportedly at 98%. As Ivan Kawa reports, there is no need to test a discharged patient for COVID-19 according to scientists' advice.
Nambole National Stadium was set aside by government as a COVID-19 treatment unit to supplement government hospitals following a surge in the number of COVID-19 cases. Ever since the second lockdown, admissions have steadily reduced at this unit.
In the first wave, actually, Nambole admitted up to almost 2,000 patients, and all of them were discharged because they had mild disease.
The reporters of 9th July 2021, Nambole Treatment Center had 1,200 beds. 40 patients were on admission. Cumulative admissions were 400 patients. 252 were discharged. 200 oxygen cylinders were available.
Each patient consumes about 1 oxygen cylinder per day.
50 patients were transferred. 20 patients had died at the facility.
Some patients come here when it is late, when they have delayed at home. So what I advise Ugandans is to come early, as soon as the symptoms develop, so that we can decide whether to admit you or to send you back home.
Treatment at Nambole is free of charge.
I've told it is government of Uganda which is funding every activity in this facility with support from partners like World Health Organization and CDC and IDI.
There is a women wing, men's wing at severe, moderate and mild level. A glimpse into the severe wing. Oxygen cylinders are assembled against patients, all struggling for their lives, while others are able to stabilize and have at least a meal for the day.
They need more of attention, and they need frequent, which is PRN, oxygen. But here they can even be removed off from the oxygen, or sometimes we put them back on the oxygen, depending on the oxygen saturation.
Relatives feed their own at the facility. It is a dire situation to look at.
So I'm in one of the rooms where COVID-19 patients are being treated from, and specifically this is a moderate room where they're being taken care of by medical experts. Now, scientists do argue that when a patient is discharged, there is no reason to test them for COVID-19. The head of Nambole National Stadium, now a treatment center for COVID-19, argues that the reason why patients are not tested upon being discharged is scientifically proven.
By the time someone has clinically improved, okay, it means that the body has fought off the virus. So this person is no longer infectious. So they are not going to infect the people they are going to find. They may do the test, even if it turns out positive, they could still be having dead virus, which virus they are not going to transmit to any other person. So whether they are still positive or they have turned negative, it doesn't matter, so long as the symptoms have resolved.
Health workers are ever busy attending to patients. Ambulances evacuate distressed patients from wherever they are to this facility.
For those ones who are in distress and need evacuations from home, it is 0800 99 0000. When you call it, you will be able to get an evacuation to this facility in case you're in distress. So we do not expect people to feel helpless and end up where they would not be able to pay costs.
But if the border brings a patient, we assume that the patient was putting on a mask, and also the border rider was putting on a mask. So we only disinfect the border, and then we don't have to keep the border rider here if he has no symptoms.
After a long day, health workers gather at this place.
Now behind me is the doffing area where this attire dressing is actually disposed of from, and according to doctors here at Nambole, they have told us that this is where many human errors occur and nurses get infected with COVID-19.
If they are not careful by following the various steps they undertake while removing the coveralls, removing the gloves, because while inside in the ward they are touching patients, so they come out when they are highly infectious. So that's why this stage is very important for extra caution and and carefulness.
Temporary staff quarters have been installed to shelter medical staff at Nambole Treatment Center. PPEs for health workers, oxygen cylinders and oxygen concentrators are available. The public is advised to take advantage of Nambole Treatment Center for COVID-19 medical attention. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News at Nambole National Stadium.
UBC lunchtime news. The Minister for Primary Education has urged parents that managing children during the ongoing lockdown is entirely their job. Speaking to Arua leaders, Dr. Joyce Moriku Kaduchu, who was flanked by the Minister for Northern Uganda, Grace Freedom Kuichwenyi, said that parents have to keep an eye over their children now that they are out of school and at home.
The Minister of State for Education and Sports in charge of primary education, Dr. Joyce Moriku Kaduchu, has tasked leaders to encourage parents to keep their children busy with homework and aiding them with more learning materials during this lockdown. She said her ministry has tried its best to avail some learning materials to learners so that they keep learning from home during this lockdown. Moriku was speaking to the leaders of Arua City together with her counterpart, State Minister for Northern Uganda, Grace Freedom Kuichwenyi, earlier this week during a meeting with Arua City leaders over the COVID-19 money.
It is you and me who can only salvage and speak to our parents that the children, much as they're at home, they should not sit redundant. They should keep active and busy. Otherwise, without education, there is no development, there is no transformation, we are leading to doom. But we can still help our children to learn while at home. My ministry is trying its best under the leadership of the First Lady to ensure materials reach the children. Some of them are on social distancing through internet. Some of the university students are using Zoom. So the appeal is that let's talk to our parents to give conducive atmosphere for these children.
She noted that the teenage pregnancy is skyrocketing in the country, with Arua City being among the top local governments registering high numbers. She emphasized the need to increase vigilance in protecting the girl child, who are the future female leaders of Uganda.
The girl child. If we're not careful, the last leadership will be me and a half. And these ones here. If we're not careful, these ones will be the last era of leadership. We will not see other future girls coming up because they are not there. They're getting married. They are getting conceiving too early. Mayor, we have work to do. In our city is the worst. So my appeal is the teenage pregnancy rate is rocketing the sky. But we can do something about it. As leaders, let's take up that mantle to save our girls.
Meanwhile, the State Minister for Northern Uganda, Grace Freedom Kuichwenyi, urged members of the public who have learned to embrace gardening in order to ensure food security in homes and towns during the lockdown.
Actually, during this COVID time, the best place to go to is your garden so that you can have food. Because on the streets, there are no food anymore. So the best place is the garden. But the most important thing I applaud this government for is that government cares for its people. It gave the masks, it gave the mosquito nets, it gave even opportunity for government officers to work from home. All this is in an effort to protect our lives. Let's do that and be alive to see progress, to see service delivery.
National Drug Authority has impounded about 300 Covidex bottles within Kampala Metropolitan and arrested 3 suspects. This follows a 2 weeks operation by National Drug Authority officials during which 13 pharmacies were closed for operating illegally. The operation in different drug outlets in Kampala district was intended to protect the population from substandard, counterfeit, unauthorized drugs and unqualified personnel, among others, in different health units.
The strict enforcement and vigilance against COVID counterfeits comes at a time when the country has just approved it as a support drug against COVID-19. This set high demand for Covidex and attracted unscrupulous businessmen to fake the drug.
3 suspects: Daniel Lule, I think a clinical medical officer at St. Peter's Clinic, Nansana; Wasa Samuel, a barber at Brotherhood Saloon in Wandegea; and Alan Kaitara, working with Softrex Agrochemicals East African Limited in Container Village, were arrested because they were found in possession of counterfeit Covidex or fake Covidex at their homes. 3 are detained at Wandegea police station.
Covidex is currently in high demand locally and regionally, and its price, though set by the manufacturer at 12,000 shillings, is currently being sold between 30,000 to 70,000 shillings or beyond.
We have gone to hotspots that we know have issues, and that's what guided most of our operation. While we, like you mentioned, have been lenient, we do not want to, to cross, most of the places around this time when there is a high drug need.
The National Drug Authority has been conducting an operation in different drug outlets around Kampala district to ensure compliance with the National Drug Authority Act 206 and licensing guidelines.
Intended to protect the population from substandard, counterfeit, unauthorized drugs, unqualified persons, and other unauthorized healthcare products on the market. Pharmacies and drug shops that had unqualified personnel in there. We impounded 17 boxes of assorted drugs, estimated at over 8 million.
During the operations, 382 drug outlets were inspected, of which 169 were pharmacies, 152 drug shops, and 59 clinics. Of the pharmacies visited, 156 were licensed and 13 were issued with closure notices. Abdul Nasir, Lukomwa, UBC News.
With Abdul Nasir's story, we take a very short break. Thank you so much for watching. Don't miss what we have on return.
Airtel Uganda has the best and most affordable rates when it comes to withdrawing and sending money. Withdraw money for as low as 330 shillings up to a maximum of 12,500 shillings. Sending money is just as affordable as ever. Absolutely unbeatable. Use Airtel Money on the most affordable network with the largest network of Airtel Money branches in Uganda. Dial *185# to get started. Airtel Money. Simple, secure, borderless.
In chess, the small one can become the big one. It's the same here. And here too. Watch every move. Record every number so you can plan better. No matter the size of your dream, tomorrow's success belongs to those who keep today's records clean. File your returns today.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Man, guess what happened yesterday? I entered the what? the taxi. But the pregnancy is from the what? The generator. Then my phone does toot, and the toothbrush breaks in the what? In the porridge. Then I call who?
Wait, what?
First wait, I am still telling you. Then the jerrycan does what?
Love to talk? MTN My Paka Paka now has more minutes. Get My Paka Paka voice bundles to talk and talk at no extra charge. Dial *160*1# to activate My Paka Paka.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field could not be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite shows.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
Experience 100% 4G speeds across Uganda with Airtel 4G Pocket Wi-Fi available at 123,000 shillings only. It comes with a backup battery and 15 GB free for 1 month. Visit the nearest Airtel shop, device selling shop, or Airtel online shop. www.airtel.co.ug/broadband-discover. Airtel, the smartphone network.
We thank you so much for watching and welcome you back from the break. It's UBC Lunchtime News. Hot air balloon joy rides are yet to become popular in Uganda, though they were invented 3 centuries ago. Hot air balloons can now be found in Murchison Falls National Park and Queen Elizabeth National Park, where they have been flown by Dream Balloons, a registered certified company, since the year 2011. Now, Imana Deo has the details to this.
Has gotten 2 compartments. The envelope, which we are inside, then the basket, which is connected to the envelope. The basket is a
passenger hot air balloons were first introduced in Uganda as a tourism joyride in 2011, though they have been in use in other places for over 3 centuries.
In order for it to operate, we have to connect the basket to the envelope. Then we inflate cold air inside the balloon. It's a process of between 15 to 20 minutes. So after
a hot air balloon is a single-layered fabric gas bag with an opening at the bottom with a suspended passenger basket, and in the center is a burner which injects a flame into the envelope, heating the air within, fueled by propane, a liquefied gas stored in cylinders that inflates the balloon.
These are gas cylinders that contains our gas that we are using. These are our pipes, as you see them, that transports our gas from the cylinder to the burner. And this is our burner.
It is initially inflated partially with cold air from a gasoline-powered fan before the propane burners are used for final inflation.
The smallest basket we are having is M160 5X GBH. So it has only 3 compartments. Though we have bigger balloons, which has up to 6 compartments or 8. You find passengers compartments, they are like 4 on one side, 4 the other side. Then the burners also, this one has only 2 burners.
Hot air balloons are in use in Murchison Falls National Park and Queen Elizabeth National Park, among other places where they have been flown by Dream Balloons for joyrides since 2011.
And I like those people who are traveling using vehicles. It is very difficult to see
all those animals like leopards, lions, and whatever. But for us, we are moving up. It is easy for you to see each and every animal in this park.
French brothers Joseph Michel and Jacques Etienne Montegrofo developed and demonstrated the hot air balloons in 1783, becoming the first successful human-carrying flight technology.
It is very safe. We have never registered any kind of accident before, so that automatically makes me say, deeply convinced it is safe.
2 months after this first 10-minute flight, an untethered but manned hot air balloon journey was pioneered by Jean-Francois Pilato de Rosel and Francois Laurent de Randes around 1800. Modern hot air balloons with an onboard heater developed by Ed Yost during the 1950s, resulting in a first successful flight in the 1960s.
Sunrise hot air balloon. We'll make sure sunrise get you up.
Vijapat Singania set the world altitude record for the highest hot air balloon flight, reaching 21,027 meters above the ground in 2005. Jean-Pierre Blancard became the first person to ever fly a hot air balloon in various countries, including the United States, the Netherlands, and Germany. Unfortunately, he fell off his balloon above The Hague in the Netherlands and died around 1800. A decade later, his wife, who had taken over his initiative, also died in a fireworks festival that caused the hydrogen in the balloon to burn. A Pacific Flyer balloon completed the longest flight in a hot air balloon when Paul Landstrand and Richard Brennerson flew from Japan to northern Canada, a journey of 7,672 kilometers in 1991. Steve Faust flew solo around the world in 320 hours, 33 minutes around July 2002.
At the end of the day, let people come and propose on the balloon. It makes it romantic. It makes it unique.
Fedor Kornhoff flew solo in hybrid hot air balloon around the world in 268 hours and 20 minutes in 2016.
The challenge we are facing here during rainy seasons, when there is too much wind, landing is not easy when we are landing.
A balloon operator is obliged to have a commercial pilot certificate to carry paying passengers, though most balloon pilots are known to fly for joyrides.
Civil aviation, exactly. It is registered by civil aviation. Yeah.
Under airport.
Dream balloon pilots have been making a living as balloon entrepreneurs in Uganda since 2011.
So the beauty of Uganda, as described by Churchill, it is elaborated if you go far mileage and see by yourself.
Abimana Deo reporting for UBC News.
Abimana Deo does it for us as we wind up this bulletin. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa. Keep it UBC TV. Bye-bye.